Okay, welcome to a discussion around the poem Music by Slessor. I just want to start with a little bit of sort of theory and thinking about some of the ideas that were around during the time that Slessor wrote. So the first set of ideas I want to comment on is this idea of the romanticism. So this is an aesthetic which sort of takes its sense of freedom and particular types of rules and conventions from this historical, romanticized, idealized world of the past, usually associated a little bit with like Greek and Roman mythology, but also with other idealized forms. And there's kind of a lot of sentiment attached to this world, and this sense that art is like an illumination of the world within. So all of these symbols of these Greek and Roman creatures and things in this poem are about characters within kind of the mind. It's not sort of going too far down like the psychoanalytic path or anything like that, just more that they represent the ideas and values and beliefs. Also that it was so confused as an artistic philosophical movement that redefined people. And I think there was an element of class as well, in which people who thought that they associated with these higher ideals and were perhaps, they thought of themselves as being maybe more moral or maybe more superior, or that it was a higher culture. The other thing I just want to think about is modernism. So modernism, post-World War I, was a rejection of traditional forms and rhythms that had been associated with literary text types. It was about disengaging from middle-class values and adopting more of a complex, disconcerting style, which aimed to represent that movement away from tradition. There's some of the characteristics: urban cultural dislocation, experimental technical, half rhymes, free verse, elegant weariness, unapologetic treatment of the city, which was something that was probably not a topic that would have been tackled with like that romantic sort of set of ideas. So I just wanted to talk about romanticism and modernism because we can see both elements within Slessor's work, and depending on what stage of his poetic sort of journey he was on. But this one is very much more associated with that romantic era. So let's think about some of the techniques. So we've got this idea that we're looking within. We've got this exalted, epic, heroic Greek, Roman mythology, classical, a lyrical style. You've got alliteration. You've got this kind of metaphor that goes throughout of music. Plumed like empastured Caesars of the sky. So it is kind of this very hyperbolic, very exaggerated sense of these characters. You've got rhyme schemes, fairly tight rhyme schemes, fairly formulaic and formal, which give that sense of structure and authority. So there's, sky, dive, stone, blown, falling, calling, cry, return back. So I think that gives the poem integrity and authority. You've got an example of caesura, melt to enchanted flesh. A voice is blown. So let's think about what it's about. I think it can be difficult to think about what poems, particularly like this, are about, because it's obviously about the reader's experience of the poem, and each time needs to be seen as such. For me, I think it's about different sets of kind of this idea of change, this idea of moving on from like opposing kind of maybe worldviews or sets of ideologies. You've got the heroism of the past and some of those, and then this sense of loss. in the a ship is in hell marooned. So got rich personification. He is running with the Valkyrs on a road of mains. Darkness draws back its fur. The stars course by, fighting the windy beaks of hurricanes to keep their stations in the sky. Away, away! The little earth light wanes. The moon has drowned herself. Cold music rings, the battering of 1,000 volcanals. So sacred shrine is a volcanal. Hammers the blood, 1,000 horsemen fly. Belly to air, away, now music sings, harshly like horns of Tartars blown on high. So you've got this kind of very fast, pacey, lofty, almost windy feel to it. And you've got this voices of away, away, that creep in. To me, it's like this sense of something being moved on, being challenged. And I think the language reflects that. And then the pace slows down, and we move a ship in hell marooned. He lies under the mast, caked with the sticky unguents of the sun. Unguents, a soft, greasy, dirty material. Sluggishly at his wound, the rat Pain, biting with bloody teeth and broken nails, is fed at last. The tale is done. Assonance. So I get this sense that it's, to me, it seems to be about war, this wound and this sense of loss, the rat's pain biting with bloody teeth. I would have thought, let the shell of bleeding flesh remain, this crusty finery is nothing worth. He flings his body carelessly to pain, meat for the earth, trumpets of godhood, the voice of music sings. So maybe after all of this, the crusted finery is nothing worth. So nothing has any value anymore. It's all destroyed. Meat for the earth. It's going to be broken down. But there's still this idea that there is something left. The trumpets of godhood, the voice of music sings. So is that this sense of the past?